Hi, everybody. So, today I'm actually going to talk to you about meditation and the importance it holds in everyday life. Now, I'm going to start by asking, when was the last time that you were actually able to take your thoughts captive? We hear that term a lot, but really think about it. Because I feel like for me, it was not at all happening until I was introduced to the actual practice of meditation. And if you're anything like me, the idea of being able to quiet your mind and truly focus on thoughts seems nearly impossible, which is why I needed a guide. So I'm here to tell you that meditation is not just for monks and the extremely spiritual. It's actually something that I believe that everyone will benefit from, especially Christians. So let's start by defining meditation. Meditation is simply, and this is it, to engage in thought or contemplation. And that seems easy enough, but what does that even mean? And how is that different from just living life and just constantly thinking thoughts? Because we do that all the time. We're constantly thinking. It's so hard to quiet our minds. So, how does meditation work and how is it even any different? So, you may already be having all these ideas of what meditation actually is. You may be thinking that it's sitting cross legged or repeating mantras while searching for the meaning of life. But thankfully, meditation is much simpler. Meditation, like I said, is simply to engage in thought or contemplation. And that seems so simple, but I'm going to teach you today how we actually do that and do it well. So, I'm going to have you think about thoughts. So, we're constantly having thoughts and they're constantly running through our mind. So, I'm going to give you a visual to associate those thoughts with so that you will better be able to meditate, and we're going to do that at the end, so be prepared. Think of your thoughts that pass by like clouds. Clouds are constantly moving in the sky, and it's really hard to focus on one cloud. And if you do, it eventually disappears. So, in order to kind of understand meditation, you have to think of all those thoughts that you have as clouds in the sky are just passing by. And you're not necessarily lingering on any specific one, or if you are, you could focus on the one and the other ones just continue to pass. Because they don't all go the same speed, and it's impossible to focus on all of those clouds or all of those thoughts at once. So that's why it's important to kind of keep that visual in mind. Just allow the thoughts to pass you by, allow the clouds to pass you by, so that you can keep your mind focused on one specific thing. Clouds are constantly shifting and moving and making room for new clouds, and the idea of meditation is not necessarily to clear out all your thoughts in order to achieve a blue sky, because you know those are very rare. Rather, it is to allow those thoughts to pass freely without lingering on any one thought extensively. And that may sound confusing, but don't worry, we'll get more into it later. So let's talk about how meditation is actually a benefit to you. Meditation may seem very complicated, or to you it may seem very simple or too mundane, but it's actually very beneficial. By learning to let certain thoughts or clouds pass by without dwelling on them, you're able to simply touch on thoughts that cause you anxiety or stress without obsessively dwelling on them. Spiritually, meditation has helped me by allowing me to truly focus on praying or reading scripture and just allowing all those distractions and all those other thoughts or my to-do list or whatever to just continue to pass by. And I can really focus on the task at hand. And this is something that I've really struggled with. I have a very active mind. I have a very daydreamy-esque kind of brain, and I can constantly think about things. And I can think about 100 things at once, but not be able to recall any of them in the next minute, or much less the next 30 seconds. So for me, meditation has been extremely beneficial when reading scripture or praying because I'm able and I'm practiced in how to let those thoughts just continue to pass by. I can touch on them, but I do not dwell on them. And I'm able to continue and continue to go back at the task at hand. So here's how I began my meditation journey, if you will. And I know this sounds very, very, very voodoo-esque, but please just bear with me. I began my meditation journey by just taking deep breaths in order to relax. Anxiety is something that I've struggled with for a very long time, and I've Googled countless ways to cope with this. And yes, reading scripture helps, but it's hard to read scripture when you can't even focus on it when you're doing it because you have a bunch of thoughts clouding your mind. So I just started by breathing. And at the heart of it, that's one of the core pieces of meditation. It's very good to learn to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth and really focus on those breaths because it really does help clear your mind. So that really is the first step. And then I was working for a while, but it was still pretty tough, and I didn't really know how to meditate or know anyone else that did it. And everywhere I tried to look, it was all about Buddhism. And I was like, well, I don't want to be a Buddhist. I know the Bible talks about meditation, so what does that look like? And I was actually introduced to something called Headspace. So, Headspace is just a guided meditation practice, and they just pretty much teach you how to breathe and remind you to not focus on the clouds that pass by. It was great. So, I'm actually going to take 3 minutes, and bear with me, this might be a little uncomfortable, especially if you've never even tried to meditate before, but I'm going to take you through a guided meditation exercise. I'm going to set my timer over here. And we're going to start with your eyes open and kind of look at a blank wall, or if there's no blank walls, you can look down at the ground, but don't close your eyes yet. I think that it's important to keep your eyes open in the beginning just so you can kind of ease into the transition. But you're going to start by breathing in and out. I'm going to put this down a little bit so I won't make you uncomfortable. So when you breathe in, focus on the chest expanding. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. So when you breathe in, focus on the chest expanding, and when you breathe out, focus on your body softening. So just do that a few times. Now don't strain yourself, you're just breathing, but you are thinking about it while you do it. Now we're going to do this 2 or 3 more times. 2 more times. Now you're going to gently close your eyes and allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm. And I know you were just focusing on breathing, but now I'll just let that focus go and just breathe. Now with your eyes closed, focus on any feelings that you're experiencing right now. It can be anger, it can be discomfort, it can be stress, it can be happiness, it can be comfort. Just focus on that and try to focus on how it's making your body physically feel. Are you feeling heavy? Are you feeling light? Is your body and your muscles feeling really tight, or are they feeling really relaxed and loose? Is the feeling static, or is it kind of moving around a little bit? Can you feel it physically in you? Just try to really focus on that feeling and just analyze what your body's telling you right now. I know it sounds strange, but you know when you're stressed and you feel physically tight, just focus on that. Focus on the specific areas in your body where you're experiencing that. Okay? Now we're going to go back into practicing our breathing. Now breathe in through the mouth and out through the nose. It's the opposite of what we did earlier. So in through the mouth, focus on your body tightening and then relaxing. Just do that a few more times. Now your eyes are still closed. One more time. And gently open your eyes. And you did it. And that was it. And it's super easy. And that took exactly 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And this is a very, very, very condensed version. When I actually take time out of my day to meditate, usually before I read scripture or really go into an intense time of prayer, I usually take about 10 minutes just to make sure that my body is relaxed and just really ready to focus on the task at hand. But this 3 minute one is just kind of a good introduction, and I know it's strange if you've never done it before. Trust me, I get it. But it has helped so much with just my everyday life and allowing me to focus, and it's greatly, greatly, greatly helped my spiritual life. So I just want to leave you with Psalm 145:5. And they speak of the glorious splendor of your majesty, and I will meditate on your wonderful, wonderful works. I know this may seem difficult or uncomfortable, but it's worth it. Meditation is a practice that will benefit you all in every aspect of your life. Now, have a great summer!